Hey everyone, it's Krystal Lee Moore Lucier here, also known as your home sweet home 519 Realtor Krystal Lee Moore, Royal Lepage Triland real estate broker in London, Ontario, and this is Realtor Life, a fun and entertaining way to learn about life in the trenches as a real estate agent in Ontario. And firstly, I'd like to say Happy New Year. It is 2023 already, and it's been a minute. But it is an exciting and scary time for a lot of realtors right now. The market has shifted, and all of the creativity that we maybe didn't need for a couple of years is really required and necessary to serve our clients. And I think for this is just going to be a short little reminder about goal setting and your business plan. So one of the most important things that you can do, and usually the advice is to get it done before the new year, but if you haven't gotten it done, the best time to do it is now. So one of my favorite quotes is, the best time to plant an oak tree is 40 years ago, and the second best time is now. So an easy way, if you're kind of stuck on the goals, is go a la Buffini and put out your 5 circle goals. So business, personal, financial, spiritual, and family. And so you can write Richard Robbins has a good exercise you can use for this as well. So combine them. So where are you now? Like what's the state of those 5 areas of your life, and where would you like to be? So let's say your business, it can be a number of transactions, it can be a dollar amount, it can be how many kind of people you serve, however you want to identify that. It's a really good thing to track. And you can also talk about maybe what areas of your city that you're in, or different marketing techniques that you think you would enjoy. And the key is always just to make sure it's authentic. So you can do everything, but if it's not part of who you are, then it's never really going to come through as being authentic, and people will notice that. And that's so it's important that while you're figuring out how to get to your goals, that you think about really what resonates with you. One of the activities I had agents do in a training course I did was to write down, of the last year, where did all of your business come from? All of it. Just look at it, because sometimes we think we're getting business from some areas when we're not, and sometimes we overlook places that we're getting business. For example, I used to have 1/3 of my business that came from open houses, and now 1/3 of my business comes from my business network and my realtor network. So it depends, because if I was just focusing on the open houses, then I might be missing out on the opportunity to thank all of these other sources. So that's definitely part of the exercise. And then another thing you can do when you're setting your goals is, and this is a really great thing that was shared yesterday with me, look at your life and what you want it to look like within kind of a 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, and who do you want to be? How do you want to feel? How do you want to look? What does your life look like? What does your business look like in 10 years? And then, are you living the way you need to live for that to actually happen? Because if you're not, then you can make some changes. And my colleague actually shared some severe changes he made, and he's living his best life now, and that's pretty cool and inspiring. The next thing, so once you're done with your goals, those are your kind of the annual goals. I like to break mine into 10-day goals, and also from Buffini, but basically 10 days. For the next 10 days, what are things that you can do to bring you closer to those ultimate goals? So that's a really good thing to focus on. And then scheduling. I'm about to start the 5 a.m. club challenge. And for those of you who don't know what that is, Robin Sharma has a book called The 5 a.m. Club. And regardless of what you think of the book, I have consistently wanted to try this. Apparently 50% of the world's most successful people get up at around between 5 and 6, 3 hours before their workday starts. And it takes a lot of discipline. So rather than just do it and hope that I make it, I have recruited a bunch of rock stars to come along this journey with me. So we are going to, for 28 days, Monday to Friday, get onto a Zoom call. And much to my chagrin, we're also getting up at 5 a.m. on weekends, but no Zoom call. So I think it'll be really cool. I'm very excited to share at the end. And I recommend, whether it's a 5 a.m. challenge, any sort of challenge or anything that builds momentum for you will be life-changing, because momentum is just like a snowball, and it builds and it builds and it builds, and then you are all of a sudden just crushing it. And it can start from the smallest thing. And then the other thing at this time of year is also just to remember that real estate is kind of it's cyclical, but also it's not your normal January to December, even though most of our metrics go January to December, and most of our accounting goes January to December. It can be easy. And this was like, for the first 10 years of my business, I'd be like, okay, work hard. And then every January 1st, everything would reset on the system. And you're just like, oh no, I'm never going to make it again. And the two quotes I think I've shared before, but just remember them. I did it before, I can do it again. And if they can do it, I can do it. So we as entrepreneurs, as realtors, and for those of us who are women, as women, can very often have this almost imposter syndrome, where you feel like you're doing well, but sometimes you feel you're just like, it could at any moment stop, because it's not maybe what you deserve, or maybe you're not really the kind of person that should have this. And when you say it out loud, it sounds silly, but in our minds, like, it can be really scary. And so just remember, you deserve to be where you are, and you deserve to be where other people are. Like, if you work hard and you're doing all the right things, there's no reason that you can't double your income. There's no reason that you cannot really just like excel, but you can't do it unless you're being authentic and you're being motivated and driven. So writing your goals down is a really good way to remind yourself and to tell yourself that these are things that you want. And the other thing, from Bob Proctor, so he had Thinking into Results, the program. So Thinking into Results was based on Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And basically, when you're writing these goals, and he says they can't be things you've ever done before. So like, if you sold 10 houses, your goal can't really be to sell 10 houses. Like, you can write that, but it's not going to make you like super pumped and excited. So your goals are supposed to be things that you don't know how to get yet. I'm kind of on the fence. I'm in the middle of that, because I do think that once you sold 10 houses, you do need to sell 10 more houses. Like, you have to. It does have to continue. But when you write the goals, you write them like they've already happened. So this is a little trick in your brain, always in the positive, because your brain does not read negative, apparently, or so I've been told by Sandy Gallagher and Bob Proctor. But basically, when you're writing your goals, let's say you want to hit an award level, or let's say you want to go on a trip or buy a property, or whatever it is that makes your heart sing and will make you focus on it. Write it in the affirmation. I'm so happy and grateful now that I bought a third property. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am in the top 10 in my office, or whatever those goals are, because then your brain, you're deciding that it's going to happen, and your brain will make it happen, and it's beautiful. Another thing to remember as we're going through is that, so I tend to try to take January as a part-time month. I have help from amazing people, which is great, but the goal is to make sure that you are your best you, so that you can give your best to those around you. So whatever that means, whether it's working out, eating healthy, getting the right sleep, reading the right personal development books. I try to read 10 pages of a personal development book every day. And if you can read more than 10 pages if you want, but if you commit to read 10 pages of a book, that's really, really cool. I'm just finishing The Power of Who by Bob Beaudine, and I'm about to start Grip by Rick Pasteur. So those are two you can start, but Think and Grow Rich is a really great one, and How to Win Friends and Influence People is another really great one. So if nothing else, get those 4 books, or get one of them, and start reading 10 pages a day. And just know that you can do this. We can do this. It is not easy. It is not hard. It is really what you make it. So if you are authentic to you, you focus on your goals, and you just go for it. every day and make sure you take care of yourself, you can have exactly the life that you want, and you can make people around you feel amazing at the same time. So that's all for now. If you have any questions ever and you just want to chat, please feel free to reach out. Krystal Lee Moore at royallepage.ca, Krystal Moore Real Estate Sales on Facebook and Instagram, your home sweet home 519 Realtor. I hope you crush the day and write your goals and just go for them. Have an amazing day, and don't forget that we are awesome. Okay, take care. Bye.